Hey guys, my name's Ben Legg. I know most of you in this class, but as my introduction, in case you don't, this is my final assignment for my final class before I graduate. So it's been nice working with you. I just want to go over my research project that I completed. The project was to determine the effectiveness of an intervention for a target behavior. My intervention was using mindfulness techniques for anxiety in college students. Um, so I had one participant, like most of us did. I had a baseline period with the participant and six total sessions. So it was one baseline and five intervention sessions. So on our first session, we just did the baseline score using the GAD-7 assessment tool. We got the score from the assessment tool on that and went through every session once a week for 6 weeks, and we compared scores at the end from the beginning to determine if the mindfulness techniques were effective at reducing symptoms of anxiety in the participant. So one of the mindfulness, just to give you an overview of the mindfulness techniques, was one was to have the participant to identify 5 things in a moment for smell, touch, sight, sound, and taste. So the participant would sit there whenever he needed to and felt anxious and kind of ground himself with that mindfulness technique. What mindfulness does is bring the person back into the present time and makes them aware of what the body is feeling at that time. So it kind of brings them back to reality and gets them grounded. So at the end, the results was the first week the participant had a score of 14 on the GAD-7 assessment tool, and in week 6, the final assessment was, I believe, a 5. So that was a drop of 9 points overall, which is over a 50% decrease from 14 to 5. And there was a question on the assessment asking if they had answered any of those questions or checked any of those answers on the assessment tool. How hard has it been for them to have life at home or dealing with other people or doing stuff at work? And it went from the first week being very difficult to not difficult at all in the final week. So that was a significant improvement there. So those are the results. Overall, and for the discussion, I believe it was effective at treating and reducing anxiety symptoms in a college student. Like my report says, there's this is not generalizable to any population or anything, since it's just a single subject research. A/B design, very short period of time. I learned that to do a thorough learned in this course that to do a thorough assessment and stuff like this, that takes a lot more time than just a semester, because you have to go through the whole process of getting everything approved, stuff like that, through an HSRB and an institution review board and stuff like that, and just to make sure to get all your ducks in a row before you start the actual process of the intervention. Another thing I learned is, although, sometimes it may go smooth throughout the process, sometimes it may not, so you might have to change things in the middle. Luckily for mine, it was pretty straightforward. Did the assessments and went over the mindfulness techniques every week. The participant was very receptive to the mindfulness techniques and seemed to do very good. So I'm very thankful for that. I learned a lot during this course, and hopefully I'll be able to use it further in my career going forward as an MSW. I plan on using it in therapy and stuff like that to see if my my interventions are being effective at treating whatever I'm going to be treating, whether it be anxiety or PTSD or anything like that. So if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the discussion forum. Thanks.